I'm on schedule to get my license back now, and I feel very confident, and I am feeling better.
But once we get in the car, I mean, it's always the same issues. I mean, explaining to him why he isn't allowed to drive is just, it's daily. We explain it daily, and sometimes we get a little frustrated. Even though he has a lot of memory loss, the one thing he doesn't forget is that he can't drive. I mean, it's such an emotional attachment, him and driving. I mean, that's his independence. That is just, he's never let go of it.
I've been driving all my life, and I still feel that I can drive, although the doctors have restricted me from driving.
Well, Dad, you don't have a license, and till you produce one, the club stays on.
It's a very objective, you know, I really object to not being able to drive. And I feel that I see some people out there driving that are not as good a drivers as I am, and they still have their license, so I complain about it just about daily and just about hourly. But at any rate, I am going through a certain amount of hoops and doctor's instructions and that, and I've been told that I'll get my license back again, so I'm counting big on that.
Even the year before he actually started to really decline, like before we even found out he was having mini strokes, I mean, we wouldn't get in a vehicle with him. And we didn't want my mother getting into a vehicle with him either, because he was just so preoccupied and, I mean, dangerous. I mean, I would go pick up my mom. If we were going somewhere to a family dinner or something, I'd go pick up my mother, and my dad would drive his truck, because we didn't want her getting in with him. But of course, we didn't realize also, like, he was having numerous mini strokes throughout the last 2-3 years, you know.
At that point, did you address the driving issue with him at all, or not?
No, I mean, there's just no way you could. Driving has been his life. I mean, that's everything connected to him is driving. Every job he's ever had required a lot of driving. I mean, there was no way we would ever think to discuss him not driving. As a matter of fact, he always tells us how he's very upset with us, because even if it means he's breaking the law, like, he would never tell his parents they couldn't do something, you know, and he doesn't know where we get off, you know, trying to control him or tell him that he's not allowed to drive.
It is definitely frustrating to not have a driver's license and not be legal to drive. But I am following all the doctor's orders and suggestions, and he tells me that I will be getting my driver's license back. So that's encouraging.
What if you don't, Dad? What if you don't get it back?
I believe the doctor.
Well,
So that,
I think one of the things that we can talk about is how you kind of think that me and Mark and Carla stole your truck from you.
well, that was a little bit aggravating, but I suppose I've been aggravating sometimes too. So kids sometimes get even with you.
Do you think that's what we did?
Yes.
Do you think we took your truck from you to get even with you?
Well, it's.
Dad?
Well, it wouldn't be surprising.
What are we going to get even with you for? Dad, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I mean, it's one thing to think that we stole your truck because you were incapacitated, but to get even that's a little annoying.
Well, it's a little annoying when you come and request that you need my truck, and I agree to let you use my truck, and then I find out that you've just absconded with it.
Absconded. Well, first of all, the doctor was the one who advised us to get all your paperwork in order before your triple bypass, and was the one that suggested that we have the truck signed over to a family member. And, you know, thankfully so, because, I mean, if you were in that truck right now, Dad, you'd be breaking the law. So, I mean, we're doing you a favor.
Well,
I mean, your truck would be impounded right now with you in it.
Oh, yes, okay.
And we'd all be held accountable for you driving it.
Yeah, well, I'm not mad about it. I know that you kids have always treated me very, very well, so
Yeah.
I have no complaints.
Well, your truck's right in front of the house where you can see it. When Mark had it, I kind of understand you wondering where it's at and stuff. We put it back where you can see it. I mean, every day he phones. I'll get sometimes 4 or 5 phone calls from my dad wondering when he can take his drive able test, which he can at any moment. Like I said, I'll book it anytime you want. But in between that, like when I offered to make the appointment, he wants to wait a few days. But I mean, it's daily. He wants to go talk to the police. He's daily at registries. He walks over to registries to find out the status of his license.
May I have your ID, please? What status are you suspended or
Well, I think perhaps I've been suspended, but I'm just
for
wondering.
what reasons? Do you know?
For health reasons.
Health reasons? All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you tell me what your address is?
Yes, you are. We can't do anything for you. You do have to contact license enforcement. I'll give you their phone number and you contact them and they'll tell you exactly what has to be done.
Okay, thanks very
Alright.
much. What does it say on my license right now?
Right now, you're not supposed to be driving, sure at all. Okay, you are suspended for medical conditions.
I try and make myself available so that he doesn't feel trapped at home. But once we get in the car, I mean, it's always the same issues. He wants his license. He does have his license, actually. He won't hand it in. Like, he won't give it up. He said he'll jump over a counter if somebody tries to take it from him. We don't know what to do, whether we just tell him you'll never drive again or try and encourage him that once he gets healthier, you know, maybe he can have his license back. I mean, we don't know what to do, you know. Like I said, I brought him into the police station 3-4 different times. The cops have talked to him for up to an hour and a half, explaining to him. And with his vascular dementia, we leave, we get in the car, and he says he wants his license back. Why can't he drive?
I've been told that I have some mental problems, but I'm really not willing to accept that as a fact. I really do. I really believe I'm still in pretty good shape.
It's hard for, like, my mom, because when my sister and I leave, like, we're the caregivers too, but she actually lives with him. I mean, he rants and raves, like, he'll really get on her case.
There's something about not getting around and being active implies that a person's less than a man.
Something we often talk about is, like, what's going to happen if he doesn't pass. And I'm not saying you won't.
No,
but
I will.
It is a concern for all of us. You know, we don't know how he'll deal with it. I think he will be, it's such an emotional issue for my dad to have his license. It's, like I said, the key to really, like, well, now he said it, being a man. I don't know what, I think he'll be depressed, and I don't know how he'll react to if you didn't get your license. I'm
not really. Not in my present health and condition.
Well,
and
you're already getting a little crabby.
I ain't never been crabby.
Yes, you are. And you might just get a stroke, another stroke, because you get little strokes of me all the time, and I hope that doesn't happen, Russell. But you know, if you don't, you know, you might get another one.
Well,
take it easy.
we hope he doesn't, but she does. She says, I think he'll have a big stroke if he doesn't get his license.
It's just the way I see him. It's just, you know, that he, right now, different little things bother him, and I think it's going to his anger is going to get strong, and his frustration and all about just not being able to drive, it's going to really get to him. And I don't know if he'll be able to take it.
With all the doctors that my father has right now, I mean, I guess they've all just kind of decided to pull his license. So his family doctor is actually like the head guy that gets all the information. So my dad wants to go see Dr. Adams, that's his doctor, every day to find out if he, you know, why he took his license away.
And one of the things that I very much want back is my driver's license, but I do believe I have to have your recommendation and your thoughts on my ability to drive before I'll get it back.
That's correct. He's been doing this for the last probably 10 months. And he comes in about once a month, and so now he's starting to get that urge again to, I'm feeling better, I can do better. But when I talk with his family, he's not doing better. When I talk to his other doctors that take care of him, no, he's not doing better. But if I take away his hope, then I've just taken away his life.
I know I'm improving each day, and I feel...
That's why we have gone farther now in making sure that, like, because you continue to improve, that's why we've said, you know, if you're still improving, the better way to do it is to make sure that you get to that plateau that you're, hey, I feel confident now, I feel like I can do something, and then trying it.
Yes, I agree with that, and I'm not going to go for the test even today because I don't have any pressing reason not to do it for a week or two, and I feel that I'm still improving each day.
That's good. He's been given the diagnosis of a dementia. He's been told there's a lot of things that are going to happen. Some of them he remembers, some of them he doesn't, but he still has that, like, the last hope of, I want to have my freedom back. And right now he's accepting that he can't do that, and with that hope that he can. And so, yes, we'll have to face that sometime, but right now we've had it almost 9 months where we can allow him to still be happy with life.